This new evangelization tactic of telling people to submit to Rome does nothing positive, but fortunately there's a better way. Now let me explain. The whole submit to Rome concept presupposes a framework in which someone should recognize that they are wrong and just join Catholicism because it is the fullness of truth, and they should submit all of their understandings to then be in line with Catholic teaching. Now, technically, could this be true? Absolutely. The problem is it presupposes the ability for an individual human to say, you know what, I recognize I'm wrong. I'm just going to go all in on this other thing. When you're talking about someone who is exploring different types of faith, is really asking a lot. It's presupposing someone to say, hey, actually, I want you to just take a leap of faith and assume that every single thing you believe is wrong. Even if that might be true, and someone is in a Christian denomination that is super out of line with the reality of Christ and his teachings, right? Their likelihood of doing that is very poor. And thus, they're not going to entertain that notion, and as such, it's a poor evangelization method. It's trying to shove them in, and when you shove someone, they're just going to dig in their heels, and that doesn't work. Now, some people might need the kick in the pants, sometimes they might need the push, but overall, it's going to turn more people away than it does connect them. The other method is one in which you create a safe space in which people can explore the faith. It's where we say, hey, you know what? If you are looking for Christ to go deeper, absolutely search. I am not going to say that you need to end up as a Catholic. I'm not going to say that you have to. All I care about is that you are walking closer to Christ, finding him more and more. Because at the end of the day, I believe that Christ in his fullness is found in the Catholic Church. And so if I lead you in this exploration and I encourage you to keep searching, I think that at the end of the day, you likely will end up, because the deposit of faith within Catholicism has no errors and no contradictions, you will end up in Catholicism. That is not pushing someone in. It's creating a space in which it says, hey, those questions you have, that searching, that longing on your heart for something greater, it can be found in the church that Christ established, the church that is protected from binding error to truth and truth to error. That is a better method of evangelization, because what we're doing is not saying, I'm going to shove you in. How dare you? You need to just change your entire life. It's encouraging and saying that longing on your heart that you have, I have an answer for it. Do you want to know what the answer is to a more fulfilling and beautiful life? And everyone will say yes to that. And that's why it's more effective, because evangelization is not defensive. Evangelization is leading, encouraging, and it starts with love. And when your method and framework of evangelization is one that is based on submission, you're not able to bring people into Christ, who is love. Augustine wrote that the single most desire for my search for delight is to love and be loved. Why would we not evangelize in relation to that universally true reality?